Good afternoon, everyone. Right after the break, I'm going to deliver a session which is on Cyber Surakshit Bharat and Cyber Freedom 2030. All right, that's what we are looking at. And about me, I am from Deloitte. I'm a partner in cyber practice. I come from hardcore coding background and then have developed products, taken them to Gartner's Magic Quadrant, and right now dealing with or I lead the practice which is cyber threat management, 24 cross-7 operations, cyber defense, live wire attack, responding to those attacks, so on and so forth. So it's a pretty broad portfolio. And what I'm going to talk about today is in context of what we have heard so far. How can cyber deliver a promise of cyber surakshit Bharat? We all know about like investments are happening, and then these uh, Western tensions, and then Middle East, and then last year Operation Sindoor, all that happened. What's the impact of it? All right, on companies from cyber perspective. So what I'm going to do today is because I have the opportunity of being at Deloitte, which is a global organization firm, we have done surveys at the global level. I'll talk about global and then I'll zoom into India in terms of what global observations we have when we look at them in context of India. How does a zoomed out and zoomed in view look like? And then the trends and then the way the cyber industry is going to evolve. All right. So, like you see over here, cyber is an evolution. All right. The good part of being with the Big Four, and Deloitte is the biggest Big Four, is we do not only advisory work, but we also do audit and we do tax and then we do mergers and acquisitions. So the first point is in context of market valuation audit of organizations. There is a direct correlation of investment in cyber with the market valuation, all right, market capitalization. That's what I'm going to talk about later, all right. But these are like broad level numbers, and then if cyber is aligned to business strategy in the right manner, the outcome and the revenue is at least 27% higher. All right. And these are broad points. Again, I'm going to talk about it later. Cyber is now obviously a board meeting agenda. Every board meeting that I go to represent one of my client or to give a point of view, cyber is at the top of the mind of the board. The CEOs and the COs and the CXOs carry specific agenda. All right. The budgets in cyber have significantly increased in the last few years, and especially with Operation Sindoor and those Western tensions, it's only increasing. Now, this landscape is rapidly evolving, and I think if I look at the global scenario, India is still catching up. The kind of investments the global have made, especially the westerns and all Western countries and all, I don't think India is close, but then we are taking the right step. All right, and then there are certain uh, numbers over here, and this is based on certain public data and certain surveys that Deloitte has done. So during Operation Sindoor, while there were millions of attacks, but then there were significantly big ones. All right, I'm talking about approximately 100 which had major material breach. All right. Now, I'm not talking about basic attacks, which is like website defacement and all. I'm talking about attacks which had material breach of at least 1 CR and above. There were 100 such attacks. All right. And a lot of those organizations came to us for help, support, and we provided our point of views. We do a lot of work with BFSI and other sectors, different sectors. So we gave them our point of views and we are helping them evolve. All right. Then we also work closely with government bodies. If you see certain 29 plus 29 lakh attacks have happened last year. All right. And again, these are material ones, reported ones. On a weekly basis, huge number of attacks happen. The point over here is government is also doing a lot of work in context of evolving. The sessions today is another great example where everyone is coming from various forums to socialize the agenda and highlight the importance of Cyber Surakshit Bharat. What is important is we heard the Honorable Justice talking about wishing on phone and then phishing, malware coming through a simple email. Those are very fundamentals. And now, if you look at not only the users, all right, consumers who are like not as tech savvy may get into those scams. But if you look at even sophisticated organizations, I'm talking about India's top 50 organizations with who we work, global Fortune 100, 500, even they cannot defend. At some point of time, it's a question of when. It's not a question of if. Each one of them is getting attacked. All right. Today I was supposed to be here for half the day, but then I have to rush. I have to take a flight because I'm again with a client who is under severe attack from yesterday. All right, and these kind of attacks are unavoidable. It's only a question of when, despite all the investment. So what can happen in a better way? All right, now it's a team sport. Cyber is a team sport. All the bodies have to come together. We heard about academia, we heard about state governments, we heard about enterprises, and then from enterprises we also play a role. So we do a lot of work along with government, along with various state bodies. All right, and we help them in terms of carving out the cyber strategy. We also work along with top institutes of the country in terms of helping them charter the courses. What should be taught in second, third, fourth year of their BTech, and then first year and second year of MTech, to help them make students who are cyber ready, who can get easily deployed. And if you look at the skill gap in cyber, it is huge. All right. So again, over here, government has done quite a number of things in the last few years, and especially with DPDP and the last 2 3 years, we'll see quite a few number of uh, acts have come out. I'll not go into the detailing of it, but then I'll touch upon the highlights of certain things, especially in context of the global trends. Now, if you look, this is not a secondary research. This is the primary research done by Deloitte, and we have done this with 1,000+ organizations, each having at least half a billion revenue globally spread across, and the numbers are like 30% North America, 40% Europe, 30% Asia Pacific, and 1,200 CXOs have got surveyed. What are these CXOs saying? Where are they investing? Where do they see cyber evolving? All right, I'll after this global perspective, I'll zoom into India perspective. All right, the top outcomes are very simple. All right, number one, protecting intellectual property. If you take a wild guess, every cyber attack that happens in enterprises is for is financially motivated, unless it's a state sponsored attack. All right, who has a different motive, hacktivism. All right, so there are 2 3 motives. Number one is financial. Now, in context of financial, what can they do? We heard in the morning about ransomware. They'll simply come, damage your systems, encrypt your systems, and say, I need money. But now enterprises have evolved. They say, I will not give you money. I have got backup, I'll restore. It may take me a few days. And JLR, for example, last year it was in the news, and then there was Marks and Spencer. None of them paid any money. There are only rare cases, but usually nobody pays money. All right. However, these attackers are only getting more and more smarter. What if they take your intellectual property? I've got pharma companies who have got complex molecule designs. What if they take those and those cases have occurred? Then it is beyond, I'll restore it from a backup. Then the case is a completely different case. Then how do you get to it? What if they reveal all these in the deep web, dark web, and anybody can go copy them? We are talking about enterprises crashing, stock prices crashing, and we have seen this. This is not fictitious. These are actual case studies that we deal with every now and then. All right, we have got dozens and dozens of them. So the root cause is not financials. Okay, I want to secure my bottom line, I want to secure my top line, etc. The root cause is I want to protect my intellectual property. All right, that's the number one agenda. Number two, in case I detect any threat, I should be able to neutralize by defending and responding to it quickly. And obviously, increasing efficiencies and agility. All right. So these were the 3 core aspects which came out. And based on the survey, what we also see as Deloitte when we go and speak with a lot of industry is usually they'll have enough budget for IT, but for cyber, they're all like, okay, by the way, I'll do cyber. All right. So we say, no, that needs to change. And you have to think of cyber from the beginning. I'm very happy to say in the global arena where we do a lot of work and we have visibility, it's changing. 57% of the respondents have said they have got increased budgets year on year and they are able to justify. All right. Which is extremely important. Only then some of those core objectives will get met. No conversation these days is without AI, which happens. So now in this survey last year when we went, we also asked about what's your imperatives around AI, and we also had asked specific questions. And when we work with our clients, how much attacks are AI based attacks? If the attacks are AI based, then normal defenses will not help. You need different kind of defenses, different kind of solutions. So AI based attack is under no way can be thwarted by a regular defense mechanism. So almost 39% respondents are saying they need to up their budget and then their technology landscape in terms of defending against AI based attacks. So AI, all right, along with AI, the other disruption is going to happen in the next few years is quantum. It's not there yet, but then it's important. All of us should know in this room and then spread the awareness that quantum is coming. And if it comes, it's not if, when it comes, it's a question of again when. I think the entire ways of computing, the ways of securing will change. Whatever way we secure today, none of that will hold good. We don't have a solution, an elegant solution to it. We are only spreading the risk of quantum. It's like socializing the risk and then being aware of it so that when it hits, it should not take everyone by surprise. So we are working again with government bodies, academia. We are working with different top enterprises globally, nationally to spread the awareness. There's a lot of studies which is going on in terms of what could be the risk and quantifying that risk, but then there's no elegant solution at this point of time. All right. So again, this is a major factor which everyone should keep in mind and spread the awareness. The objective I want to talk about is cyber freedom. I mean, how can we be on our own, a sovereign, data countries where we have got our data with our within the national boundary, and we have seen the act DPDP and various welcome measures by the government, and which has necessitated every top global enterprise to start a data center here. All right. So what's the outcome? The whole outcome, if you look in an objective manner, in a quantified manner, is for certain reasons and purpose why government has done that. All right. Number one, uh, this is a very refreshing thought which I spoke about at the beginning. If you look carefully under the hood of a balance sheet, and again, Deloitte is a technology firm. We do audit, we do mergers and acquisitions, we do all this variety of things. So we have the opportunity to bring the best of the brains. My colleagues in mergers and acquisitions, how do they do valuation? What is the impact of cyber in valuation? What is the impact of cyber in market capitalization? All right, what's the impact of cyber? An incident that gets reported now as per DPDA, certain GDPR guidelines to the board, to stock exchanges. So all that when you bring in, now there is a direct correlation. If you invest in cyber and your cyber maturity is high, all right, you can command up to 4 times market valuation, all right, market capitalization actually. This is a very big factor. And this study, when we show to some of our clients, they get this wow factor, aha factor, oh, I didn't know that. And then we are able to quantify. So this is something for all of us as a takeaway. I think please make a note. And we should, not only as an individuals, enterprises also should start investing. And then again, we heard of Bangalore, Karnataka startup ecosystem. We work with a lot of startup ecosystems as well. All right. And I can tell you the two things which I'm happy that we play a very active role in startup ecosystem. They are all embracing cyber from the beginning. A lot of them are. They are investing at the right time when they see that they have got these outcomes that they can accomplish, not as an afterthought, but as a design from the beginning itself, which is like ultimately every startup has got two objectives. Either they'll be unicorn, they'll do IPO, or they'll get acquired. In any of those, they'll bring a member firm or big four like us to help them either getting acquired or either releasing IPO. When they do that, let me tell you, one of the most important factor is how is their cyber posture? What kind of incidents have happened? And one of the factor we do is, has something happened which they themselves are not aware of? Let me tell you, one of the biggest IPO got delayed by 2 years last year because we found their data was in deep web, dark web, and they were not aware of. They were trying to go to IPO. and it could have the share prices could have tanked. And when the founders and then the investors came to know, they stopped it. They didn't do the IPO. They stopped it for 2 years until this firm came to a point where the posture was good. None of this will be in the news, but then I can't obviously take the names. But then these are the kind of factors you play a role in terms of their market valuation. That's why this valuation has got a direct correlation to cyber. All right. Then cyber can also play a role in terms of revenue. All right. That's the other correlation, because once you have got a correlation to valuation to market capitalization, then automatically you are aligning your cyber to your business imperatives. And then if you don't have cyber attacks, you don't have those downtimes, you don't have those business impact, you obviously the revenue also is intact. Whatever you are forecasting, you are able to meet. So those business outcomes you are able to meet. The overall impact, all right, in terms of startup ecosystem is not only in India and globally immense. And just like how we are doing this forum, there are numerous forums which are happening across India and globally in terms of helping startup with the right strategies. And I'm not only talking about startup, but then these strategies are also equally important for the enterprises. So the entire spectrum, right from one end of the spectrum, which is startup, to the other end of the spectrum, where we have got the largest of the enterprises, they are all spending, investing in terms of bringing the best of cyber in context of AI, in context of emerging quantum, whatever you may say. These are all rapidly emerging technologies. How can they have their posture in a better way so that they are able to defend? All right. So if we do this in the right way, and again, the state governments have to do it in the right way, defense sectors have to do it in the right way, we all as a nation do it in the right way, obviously our country's overall impact to GDP indirectly increases. The enterprises revenue increases. FIIs, when they come and invest in India, let me tell you, they also want to make sure that the firms they are investing are secured. Now, one important point I'd like to mention is about cyber insurance. All right. Most of us would be aware of cyber insurance, and these days insurances are no longer to enterprises. You can buy for your personal use also. Cyber insurance, and maybe for 1,000, 2,000 rupee, in case you get into a scam and all, they'll reimburse up to a certain amount. Cyber insurance's premium have increased 5 times in last 4 years. We have got clients coming and complaining, why has it increased? All right. Just like your health insurance and all premiums, all right, are increasing year on year. The cyber insurance premiums are increasing because, let me tell you, it's directly linked to the cyber posture. If your posture is not good, the premium is high. And these cyber insurance providers also come to some of us, all right, and say, can you do me an assessment, a quick assessment to find out the posture? So we play a role on both sides. We work with the enterprises to improve their posture. We work with the cyber insurance providers to find the posture of organizations to who they are going to pay premium. And a common finding has been cyber has been always mostly an afterthought. When you have it as an afterthought, you can figure out whether it is intrinsically done or extrinsically done. All right. And it comes out in matter of a few meetings. We can make out. I mean, we can see through. Just like your doctors can, do a check on you, we can also. I mean, we are in that business. It won't take time for us to identify, find out. So the cyber insurances also is not easy to get. I have heard from clients where they have been refused. In case of medical insurances, you may get refused. There are a lot of cases where, like, you will not get it only because you have not disclosed a disease. Exactly is the same case with cyber insurance. There are dozens and dozens of complaints we get, and then issues we get. Help us fix our post, otherwise I'm not getting my cyber insurance. And insurance, let me tell you, a premium of 10 crore. So it varies from companies to companies, but a 10 crore premium is for 100 crore insurance. All right. Now, this is 1:10 factor. If you look at your medical, it is not going to be as high. But then in cyber world, it's completely a game changer. 100 crore insurance, and it's hard to quantify your brand value. All right. Your market capitalization. So what is the right premium? The calculation is only getting more and more complex. All right. Once you have time, you can do some Googling around Monte Carlo algorithms. That's what is getting used very widely in terms of cyber risk quantification, in terms of evaluating cyber premiums. We are also uh, doing our own intellectual property, deriving our own cyber insurance ways of calculating. All right. So it's an interesting field. And I think that's about it. There are a few slides, but then I don't think I'll have time. I'll skip. What is very important is if you are interested, whatever I spoke about, all right, the research that has been done by Deloitte, you can take a snap of this. There are two reports you can download, read it at your leisure time. All right. It will give you exactly what I'm talking about at the global scale and at the national scale. All right. Right from cyber insurance to cyber Surakshit Bharat to global trends and investments, etc., all that in details is over here. It's a simple, go to that URL, just punch in your name, email, and then you'll get it. So that's about it. I think this is my last slide, and I thought I'll spread some awareness today and wish you all the best for the rest of the sessions today. And thank you so much for inviting. That's about it. Thank you.